Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Amplified server, and you know it, don't you? We are now in Minecraft 1.9, that's right, I got myself a little shield, and unfortunately this means that sword waggling is no more. You can't sword waggle anymore, you got a shield waggle like this. Kind of looks like the same deal though, good way to say hello to someone when you're playing on a server. It's cool, and yes, we have finally updated to 1.9. It has been a long time coming. And the reason we haven't updated is just for the safety of the world, really. These developmental versions have introduced some pretty game-breaking bugs from Snapshot to Snapshot. And finally one came along that looked pretty stable. That was 15W47C, which is what the server is on. And as long as you don't go exploring with horses, you shouldn't really encounter any game-changing bugs. So everything looks to be pretty good and stable. And straight away I encountered some issues. I actually logged out down here. I've been around the base doing bits and bobs since. But I logged out down here, and when I logged back in, I went to use the redstone elevator to go up top. And this thing doesn't work in 1.9. It's going to break some basic redstone contraptions, it looks like, which is kind of worrying because a lot of my base is based around some basic redstone stuff, and I'm hoping that it's just this thing affected, of course. But yeah, that's kind of worrying. So then I'm thinking, okay, my basic way of getting up and down between the floors is completely broken. So I've had to go to each floor and just resort to using the ladder back here. Also, I've got to say it because it's starting to annoy me a bit, but this takes up way too much of the screen. It feels like it's a little bit claustrophobic. It just removes too much from the screen. I don't like it. And so we'll probably just equip that when we go out for combat, which is what I want to do in this episode. I want to check out all of the combat changes. Of course, that's the main feature of 1.9, so good idea to do that, as well as doing a few other bits and bobs as well. I've also got some new books or enchantments that we want to get hold of, like Frostwalker and Mending, and I've already started work on that. I gave these guys loads of food. I also reinstated our false village up the top, and it looks like it's worked because these guys have been breeding, which is awesome. We've got two down there, but neither of those are librarians, so I think I'm going to give these guys a healthy amount of food, and then we're going to try and get ourselves some librarians while we're in this area. Also, if you remember, I had some villagers sort of trapped down in this area. You might have seen that in the episode I did with Python, and I sorted them out. I managed to get them back into minecarts, but I've got to say it, now that mobs can push entities away from themselves, it makes it really difficult to get them in minecarts because they push them away. Also, you being there is kind of worrying, but you're also not in a minecart. Are you the one who was down the end here and you've managed to wander between? I think he was. Right, so one of those was trapped between minecarts, and I'm guessing now, in 1.9, he's not going to be trapped by the entities either side of him and he can go where he wants. Interesting stuff. So many things are going to be broken. I reckon this could be like a real headache. Anyway, let's go down here and grab ourselves some food. We'll grab, oh no, a lot more than that. Let's grab 6 stacks of those, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks of those, give those to the villagers, and we'll get them breeding. Okay, that is plenty of potatoes. So breed up, get us some librarians. We want to get some new trades. Mending, we're going to basically be putting on everything we have, and that means we can wear diamond all the time, which makes more sense now in 1.9 because we're going to have, well, less effective protection from our armor. Which is one of the changes that have been made. So I get a lot of comments about that. You know, why do you wear iron? The reason I did before is because with all of these beacon effects that we've got, they hardly do any damage to you. So when you get attacked, although you take a small amount of health damage, your armor takes damage too. So if you're wearing full diamond, it's like each time you get hit, you take, 4 times the worth of diamond in damage. So if you just got the boots, so you've got those good enchantments on them, then it doesn't really matter. So that's why I haven't been wearing diamond, but it looks like that's going to change because we're going to need more protection in this update. You can also change the name of items as well and not have that impact your repair cost, which might be never used again, because once you've got mending on there, then all you got to do is repair it with XP, which is really, really good. So I like that. Anyway, let's go down to the floor down below. There's something that I'm thinking about for this last floor. Let's think about this for a second. We've got wood here. Up above we had sandstone, then we've got our grey stone, we've got another floor with wood, we've got carpets. We're running out of ideas for floors, and in 1.9, I love this by the way, I got a suggestion to put some carpets down here, and I can't really remember, but I'm guessing then with carpets on top of slime blocks you still get the effect. That'd be a cool thing to do, have a big pattern in the middle here. Although I've got to say, I really like the way it looks at the moment. Oh, and by the way, I was playing on the server with Optifine before. Are we getting? Okay, it's just the sound of my own voice is drowning out the sound of the game at the moment in my ears. Yeah, so before I had Optifine installed, and I'm surprised with Optifine off, because we're just playing on a Snapshot, the bass is still really good. The frame rates are not bad at all. Occasionally it gets a little bit laggy, but yeah, it's overall pretty good. So you can probably guess already what we're going to do down here. The new block, of course, is the path block, and this thing looks awesome. One of the things I like most about it is how it changes based on how much you use of it. So, wait, aren't I supposed to right-click with a shovel to make a path block? Or do I left-click? No, left-click, of course, destroys it. I thought it was right-clicking with a shovel to make a path block. Or maybe it needs to be grass already. Okay, let me go grab some grass. That's probably what it is. So while we're on our way up here, I was reading through the patch notes for 1.9 and something caught my attention. One of the things I missed in the Snapshot videos, but I found it really amusing. Basically, chickens can now be lured by all types of seeds. So you've got beetroot seeds, you've got melon and pumpkin seeds. Grass is down here, isn't it? Of course it is. Let's take... well, that's way too much. What am I thinking here? Probably only need a stack at most. Let's go back down below. So, previously in the game, they could be lured by only grass seeds, and they've changed it so that they can be now lured by melon and beetroot and pumpkin seeds. The thing is, I remember when they fixed that the first time, it was labelled as a bug that seeds other than grass could lure a chicken in different directions. Oh, that's not the right floor. And so they changed it, and now someone else has labelled it as a bug that all types of seeds don't work, and so they've changed it back again. It's quite amusing. I guess there's so many things in this game, it might be hard to remember all the changes that you make, but yeah, just another amusing one right there. So back to the path block. This thing looks really cool, and the reason I like it so much is because the way the texture sort of changes its brightness a little bit. Right, so bam, there we go. So it starts off really dark, so if you just want to have like... Oh, it kind of connects diagonally as well, doesn't it? Well, either way, you can see that by putting them together, you can make them a little bit lighter, or you can have them darker when they're on their own, and that I just think is cool and just opens up a whole bunch of opportunities there. And it gives this like a unique property as well. So I'm thinking for this floor, this could be our block, and because this isn't technically a full block, it might mean it's transparent and light can shine through it. I've also got a light source on me, so we could do a little test here. But I think this will look really good, and it will probably mixes all right with that little bit of white on the border there. If we just focus on that, you can see that doesn't look so bad, does it? But having quartz in the rest of the room and diorite as we sort of planned, it might look a little bit ugly. You have all of this lush, bright white stuff, and then you've got this sort of dirty looking floor down the bottom, but we can give it a try. Anyway, let's dig off into this direction, and let's chuck down a torch, then put a grass block above it, and then right click on that. You get the lighting bug, but not the light, I'm going to guess. Let's have a look here. What's our light level? Always takes me a moment to locate it. Light 4. You can see it goes up as we go away. And then if we break this, it's going to go up. Is it the same as when you've got a full block? Yes, it is. So it's still 4. So you can get the lighting bug with it, but unfortunately light doesn't shine through it, which means, therefore, we're going to have to mix this up with some other blocks as well. Anyway, that's what we're going to do on that floor, but we're not going to be working on that today. And what I do want to do is go around and do some caving in the area just to get a feel for combat, because we're going to encounter some mobs. Before we do that though, I just remembered one other thing that I wanted to talk about this update, and I'd love it if you all left a comment down below and gave me some feedback, because I feel like I might be alone on this, but although this sounds great that trapdoors don't really rely on being directly attached to a block anymore, it just doesn't feel right to me that that can float and just be put anywhere, and I'm sure that's going to provide some great uses, especially in mob farms and stuff in the future when we figure out all the possibilities of 1.9. But you can also move these things with pistons as well, which I don't know how I feel about that. It just seems so strange. And then you could power it and change the state of it and move it over there and move it back, and maybe this is going to open like a world of possibilities. In fact, that's actually starting to look pretty cool when it directly interacts with the sticky piston, right? What about slime blocks? Do they attach to slime blocks? Let's grab a couple of these temporarily. Yeah, this is one of the ones that I didn't feel so great about. I was like, oh, I don't know about these floating trapdoors. Now as I start to play around them, maybe I'm changing my mind. So let's say we've got 3 in a row like that, and we attach... Let's attach these to the slime blocks first of all, which I'm not sure if it really counts or not. Just puts them in that position. We can move all of them across, and then we can move them all back. That's actually probably going to have loads of uses, isn't it? Okay, I think I do like that, but I still find the whole floating trapdoors thing a bit weird. It seemed like it might have been a bug at first because they didn't really mention it as a change, and then it just stayed in there, and apparently it was confirmed that that would be staying in the game. So really, like, a really strange one. It really did seem like a bug, but apparently that one is to stay. So, you know, I think I actually like that. That's probably going to end up being pretty good. But feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you think. Anyway, the next thing we're going to be doing is some combat, do some caving in the area which is needed, take some torches, you know, light it all up, get the rates of that witch farm up, which is going to be working in 1.9, which is really cool. Yeah, so I'm going to get geared up and I'll meet you down in the caves. So earlier we were talking about things that break in the snapshots, and that's just reminded me of something else I've decided I'm not going to be using straight away, which is this storage system. If this thing is broken, that's probably going to give me a massive headache. So I think it would be smart not to use this thing like I normally do and then just see if it breaks and fix it. But later on I'll do some testing and, you know, check everything is okay, because we've got so many systems hooked up here. We've got the item elevator, we've got one type of item filter over here, another one over here, and then we got this thing, which in all fairness I think is probably going to break, right? And is it broken at the moment? No, it's not. Sorry, for some reason I thought it was stuck with some items in it. And then there's another item filter after. There's also all these like other little item filters and elevators after it as well. Down the bottom here, the smelting system, so much stuff that needs to be carefully tested. So I've decided I don't have the time for that right now, so therefore I'm not going to chuck my items into it and risk it being broken. So all this other stuff we'll just sort of chuck into these temporary chests over here for now. And oh yeah, by the way, before we updated, I also crafted some notch apples. Some of you are asking me to do that. Thank you for the reminders. Which chest is it? It's one of these ones on this side. There you go. We got over 2 stacks of notch apples, which is really great. I think I've got some somewhere else as well, because I've got a little supply chest for wither fights as well somewhere. But that's really knocked out my gold supply. All of this was basically stacks of gold blocks. But there you go. This farm, by the way, that produced all of this, the one in the Nether, still works in 1.9. You need to do a little fix for it. But believe it or not, that one still works. And of course, we'll be using that to get XP for our mending. Anyway, I now need to get geared up. We're going to put on some decent armor, and I'll meet you down in those caves again. Okay, so I found some caves. This is one of my little tunnels, by the way. I've made myself safe here. And I grabbed some iron because I forgot to bring shears with me. And there's actually a abandoned mineshaft around the corner, so we can pick up some cobwebs with those without having silk touch. Have I got any sound? Yes, I do. It's very quiet. Very quiet for me, but I'm sure we'll hear it when some mobs come along. So it's only Mumbo on at the moment, and some of the other hermits have been on and off, and I haven't seen too many mobs in this area, or basically I haven't seen a single one yet. I'm hoping that we'll find them, because a lot of this area is like lit up, and that means that there should be more mob spawns. But with other players on the server, it could be that they're spawning in their area and not in ours. But the other hermits have been on here and reporting some issues, which is really unfortunate. We're probably going to end up like trying out a few different snapshots that have been released after this one and seeing if they're any better, because for some of the other hermits they're running into troubles, none of which I've been like running into myself though. I seem to be okay with these. But it's a little bit like annoying that these snapshots are so unstable, because I spent absolutely ages working on fixing up the server, because the Enderman griefing thing would have been broken by the new update. So I had some help from people in TechMap, and someone, I can't remember their name, suggested giving the Enderman piston extension blocks. That's the block that's used for when the piston gets extended in the game, and it actually stops the Enderman placing down blocks because they don't want to place that block. So all you have to do is give an Enderman that doesn't have a block the piston extension. They don't drop that block as well because it's like not a valid one. And this, I was about to say, might be a new a new minecart chest, but no, this is way too close to our base. It's already been generated, and this is an absolutely massive ravine, and I think we've found mobs. We found mobs down the bottom. We've got a cave spider spawner over there. That is a very tall and wide ravine. I don't recall seeing some quite as big as that, but you know how it is with this game. Let's go down below and let's fight some of these creepers. Alright, I also brought some potions with me because we're now out of range of our beacons, which means we're outside the range that we need to be lighting up these caves. And I've got a strength potion here. By the way, this has been changed. It no longer does a percentage. If you look there, that does +6 attack damage. So it's a hard number now, which if you could customize would be absolutely fantastic for map makers. Much better than the percentage system. And here's another thing I want to mention. Oh my god. I hit that thing, it sounded like 3 times in a row. I can't seem to get the display indicator to come up. And at the moment, like, I'm swinging my sword in the air, so maybe that's why it doesn't appear. They're like 3 creepers down here. Come on, guy. We're trying to demonstrate. Help us demonstrate here. I think if we break that block, then they'll be able to path towards us. So give that guy a whack. There's no little cooldown because you can't like spam like this. Except that seemed to kill it. Go on, let's keep spamming it. I can't see any damage hearts when I spam it. So now we're going to do a critical hit and we see quite a lot of them. Oh, what are you going to do? Oh no, his fuse. There you go. Alright, so yeah, the thing that I'm talking about, if it makes sense or not, is... Bump-da-dum-dum-dum. It'll be on video settings. This attack indicator can be off, crosshair, or hotbar. So it was off, now we're going to set it to crosshair. I don't see anything at my crosshairs. And if we go to the next one, hotbar, there should appear a little icon down the bottom here. And that doesn't appear either when I swing my sword. And as you saw there fighting creepers, I haven't seen it either. So it looks like that might be broken. But when we were fighting the creepers there, you saw if I spam clicked it really fast. Oh, there's another one. Let's go bam down like that. Oh, and we two-shot it. That was awesome. I waited. I didn't spam click. And wait a minute. Block, because it's a skeleton. That's what we've got to do with this. Oh, and if we had mending right now, we could get a little bit of repairs going on. So, yep, the word barrier is the only word that would come to mind. The shield. What is it with me and words sometimes? Yes, the shield took the arrow, and that took some durability damage, and then we didn't take damage from the arrow. I can't quite like that one actually, but it will take a bit of getting used to. So, zombie villager with an awesome new skin. Love that. And his arms go up when he's tracking me. And you're a 2-hit kill as well. So this sword is very good. And that's kind of like how it was before, really. Although if you were in range of the beacon, you had strength 2, you could do that in 1 hit. So with, what's the attack damage here? 10 attack damage. So this doesn't double it if you have a strength 2 potion. So you probably can't do 1-hit kill anymore. And I did that 1-hit kill video recently, didn't I? And I wasn't really thinking... too much about 1.9. I was just thinking, you know, 1.9 is always subject to change, so let's not do it in that version of the game. But of course, now we've got reason to revisit it, as it kind of changes all the rules really with how you one-hit kill mobs. And yeah, of course we want to know that stuff. Right, so 1 hit for you. That wasn't a critical, and another one, and there we go. Alright, so we've encountered a skeleton and a few creepers. Let's keep exploring and see if we find any other mobs. So I think I found a mob spawner here. And by the way, when I'm going around lighting up these caves, if you don't like click directly on the block and you do that, then your shield sort of pops up, and it's really annoying because that shield takes up a lot of your screen space. And I think this is just a zombie spawner, isn't it? So what's going on in here? You can now get villager spawners. That's a little Easter egg for you right there. Not villager spawners, but zombie villager spawners. Let's also drink this strength potion already. That didn't work. Oh, okay, I found first bug. Apart from redstone break-in, I can't drink potions. Look at that. Let's try speed 2. Oh, this is buggy. We are... talking about this and possibly upgrading to a different snapshot. I hope one of the next snapshots will fix some of these issues, but I think the way it's working is they've got a list of things that are broken from like 1.8 that they're fixing, and so all these 1.9 introduced bugs sort of pile up and probably won't get fixed till later on. So this might be far enough out for a new type of dungeon. But either way, if it is or it isn't, there's nothing really there that I need. I'll take the bread, which I've been eating because we traded with those villagers and didn't want it to go to waste. It would just sit in a chest, so I thought I'd take bread with us. Oh, and now can I not eat? Oh, right, that's interesting. So perhaps if I log out and log back in and I can eat, then maybe I'll be able to take my potion as well. Let's give that a try and see if we can find more mobs. Actually, what I could do is pop out the torches here and spawn them in. Okay, that time I ate, as you saw there. It took a little bit longer, didn't it? So let's try some strength. Still... Oh, no, there you go. Takes a bit longer. Right, we've got our strength too. So let's try and one-hit these guys. Bam. Oh, you can one-hit them. That's awesome. Alright, sweet. So strength 2 still does a one-hit. Well, that's good to know, isn't it? At least on the zombies, and they have armor as well, so they're a little bit stronger than most mobs. Anyway, what I'll probably do is just take a screenshot of this so we can come back to that later and leave it alone for now. Right, so while I've still got this strength, I do want to find and fight some other mobs. Oh, we've got a skeleton over here, and of course my strength ran out, didn't it? Oh, he's got an enchanted bow. No, I don't want to fire at him, I want to block him, but what we'll do is put a block there for now. Oh, did he just shoot me through that gap? He did. Sneaky devil. There we go. Right, I can drink my potion. Let's see if we can one-hit this guy. No! Didn't one-hit the skeleton. Maybe I did something wrong there. Or maybe that zombie... Well, we hit 2 zombies one hit earlier, didn't we? I was going to say, the zombie might have taken damage somewhere. Okay. Never mind. Let's hope we can find another one. I'm finding so little mobs. At the moment, Mumbo's playing as well. So I'm going to guess most of the mobs are in his area at the moment. And therefore not spawning over here, which kind of sucks, but what can you do? Whoa, this little bit right here is a little bit crazy. This isn't a 1.9 thing. We've got a few of these, like, side by side going into a big open area with more of them underneath. Just not seen them form like that before. And it goes for all of this area as well. And one-hit kill. So that time we got a one-hit on it. I'm not sure what I did wrong before, but there you go. Skeletons are possible too. Yeah, and it goes across here. And there's a spawner over there. Crazy. I think we've got one hiding under here. We do. Yeah. Oh, I've spam clicked. That was a very bad strategy. Yes, you've got to wait and strike. Of course. If you spam click, then when you do actually hit it, you're not going to do anywhere near as much damage. So it looks like we might be able to go around this corner. Aha, this is the way to get there. And there's a few of them to fight. And some zombies as well. Okay, time for some combat. Can we do this? Doesn't look like the cave spiders are really interested. Oh yeah, got to use the shears here as well. Man, look at these guys. They're so laggy. It's hardly a battle. There we go. I've been poisoned. That sucks. Oh, and I spam clicked again. It's so easy to do that. It's such a habit by now. Okay, the server is really struggling here. I mean, look at the way these mobs are moving. The cave spiders down there, they are really suffering. I don't think we can probably continue to play on this snapshot. It might be a good idea to try one of the other ones. I need to find a safe spot and regen. Alright, we are back at the base, and I have sad news. As you've seen, the performance of this snapshot is pretty pants, really, and the CPU and memory is constantly stuck at 100%, which is kind of worrying as well, and that's just with me online. So yeah, I don't think these snapshots are really ready yet, and it's a real shame because we kind of agreed to wait for the right snapshot. We found one that seemed to be a lot more reliable than other ones, and when it came down to it, you know, playing on it, it didn't really work out. Plus I spent like 2 days trying to fix the whole Enderman griefing thing, which was a real pain. But you know, these things happen, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. But the server is going to revert back to 1.8, so we didn't really do too much. We just sort of checked out and discussed the 1.9 stuff, and then we also did a little bit of cleaning up with the villagers, so I've got like a tiny bit of work to catch up on, but that's about it really. And there's a zombie up there roaming around, jumping up and down. Oh, I got all excited for 1.9. I made a big list of all the things that I wanted to do. One of those things was actually going over to the Blaze Farm and seeing if that still works, which actually I think we'll do. So I was going to go over to the Blaze Farm and the Gold Farm and check those things out, see if they're broken or not, but then I'm going to realise that's probably going to take up a fair bit of time, and we really need to switch back to 1.8 so other people can play on here. So I think I should wrap things up. I'm disappointed. I really was looking forward to this, and I guess next episode's going to be a 1.8, going to upload a backup of the world, so it's not going to be the same world reverted, which means everything we did today will be rolled back, which isn't really too much of a problem. Of course, we're just investigating and and checking things out. So that's going to be it from me. Next time I see you, I'll be in 1.8 and I won't be able to do this. And that looks really odd as well. That's bugging out. I'm just holding down right click there and it kind of freaks out. I don't know. Anyway, as always, thank you ever so much for watching and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.